Hello and welcome again to airgunweb.com. My name is Rick Utzler and I'm glad you can join us again here today. For our second video here in January, I was asked to look at another low-powered rifle, kind of focused more at the youth market. It's the IZH-61 that has a 5-shot auto-indexing clip. Let's take a closer look at this rifle. The IZH Model 61 is a very unique looking rifle. It has a lot of good things going for it. It's extremely lightweight, very easy to cock. It has a 5-shot auto-indexing clip. It comes stock with those open sights. For this review I mounted a Leaper's Bug Buster scope. You're going to need some special mounts because the rail's not very long. The open sights on this gun are frankly not great. They need to do something about allowing for a micro-click left and right adjustment and not just a micro-click up and down adjustment. The IZH-61 uses a side lever action to cock the rifle. It takes very little effort to pull that handle back and engage the spring. The stock on the IZH-61 is adjustable for pull length, which is a very unique feature on a gun this inexpensive. Although the trigger pull on the IZH was very light, the trigger has a lot of creep, and the break point seemed to be quite ambiguous. Surprisingly, the IZH-61 recoils quite a bit. When you add in this trigger, it actually made this rifle quite difficult to shoot. Before we look at velocities and talk about pellets and also take this to the range, I'd like to show you just a few of the neat features about this gun and how they work. First of all, the gun ships with an adjustable stock. Right now I've got the stock all the way compressed in. If I want to lengthen the pull of this rifle, let me show you how you do that. You simply loosen this nut, pull the stock out, and then tighten this back up. And that allows you to change the pull length of this, so if you have smaller shooters, you can go ahead and set this gun up for them and it's far more comfortable for them to shoot. The other thing that makes this rifle unique is its 5-shot auto-indexing clip. Let me show you how that feature works. The first thing you need to do is get it so that the clip can be released. You do that by pushing this silver button forward. This slides this mechanism back and then allows you to release the clip. You push the little silver button and the clip just easily comes out. When you're ready to load the rifle, you simply fill these holes with pellets and then you slide the clip back in. When you go to cock the rifle using the side lever, it will grab that mechanism there and feed the pellets up into the gun for you. As you cycle through the various shots, the clip will automatically advance to the next shot until you're done. You need to be careful to try not to dry fire the rifle, because it will cause you some problems in the long run if you do. So make sure you keep track of how many shots you fired. Let's go ahead and do some Chrony tests, and then we'll go ahead to the shooting range. For our Chrony test, I'm going to use the pellet which has turned out to be the most accurate pellet, and that's the Gamo Hunters. Let's see how they do. Let's go ahead and see how the numbers turned out. We had a high of 449 feet per second, a low of 441 feet per second, an average of 445 feet per second. The difference we had between the shots was a mere 8 feet per second. While this rifle is certainly not going to win any races, at least it's consistent with its velocity. We'll go ahead and set up on the target and see what kind of groups we can get with these Gamo Hunter pellets. wraps up another long day of shooting here at airgunweb.com. There's a few last thoughts I'd like to talk about with regards to this IZH Model 61. I found it very difficult to get the open sights on target, and even at 10 yards, my eyesight just couldn't handle it. I decided to go ahead and try a Leaper's Bugbuster scope. If you're looking to do just some simple plinking in the backyard, you certainly don't need to go and invest in a scope. But I wanted to try and wring out every possible last ounce of accuracy so we can know exactly how the gun shoots and take my bad eyesight out of the equation. This Leaper scope allowed me to do that, and once I found the right pellet, as you could see, I was able to get some pretty decent groups. One of the things I do want you to know, however, this gun is extremely sensitive. My guess is that because it is so light, it's very susceptible to any little tiny change in hold or trigger pull. And the trigger brings me up to another topic I wanted to talk about just briefly. The manual shows a 3-way adjustable trigger, but this rifle only came through with a single adjustment on the trigger. My guess is that there's been some sort of change in the trigger mechanism, and I noticed that from what I had seen in the past, I was actually expecting this to have a much nicer trigger. The trigger actually gave me a few problems, even though it was light. I couldn't seem to get the creep out of it. About the time I adjusted it to where I thought it was going to be crisp, it would start creeping again after I started using it. Maybe there's a change in the manufacturing, they're doing something different, and I was able to get used to it because I did get at least a couple really decent groups, but it will try your patience, let me tell you. You will need to work and work and work and practice to get really good with this gun. It's nothing like the Bronco, which I can basically put that rifle in anybody's hands and they're going to hit the bullseye nearly every time. This rifle can do it, but it's going to take a lot more practice. It does have some really nice features with the 5-shot indexing clip. That's very nice. It's a side lever, which is also very nice. You can have rapid follow-up shots. It is a very fun gun to shoot. It's very lightweight, but there are a few things there that need a little tweaking as far as I'm concerned. On the good side, it is very inexpensive, and it's something that even a youngster can handle. One thing I did want to mention, there's no safety on this gun, not that I can find, and not that I can find in the manual either. So if you are going to consider giving this to a youngster, make sure they understand how to use a gun and they have good gun etiquette, because the last thing you want is for a youngster to have this and accidentally have a discharge and hurt somebody. So the fact that it doesn't have a safety is a concern. I would not personally put this in the hands of somebody that was really not mature enough to handle it, and you're going to have to make that call. I want to thank the guys over at Pyramid Air for providing all these products and supplies again for these reviews. My name is Rick Utzler. This is airgunweb.com. Thanks again for joining us today.